If your Fortnite feels worse after the update, you're not crazy. FPS drops, stutters, and higher input delay are common after major patches. Follow this guide, download the free optimization pack below, and you'll feel smoother gameplay, faster response, and real FPS boosts in minutes. Epic likes to add settings that no one knows about without warning. First thing that you should do is open up your Epic Games Launcher, click the three dots within Fortnite, and then click Options. Make sure you uncheck high resolution textures, as this is a very important step because it will reduce your input lag and improve your FPS. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have pre-download stream assets enabled, because this will just download the streamed assets in one place in Epic Games Launcher and you won't have to download them while playing. This alone can fix 10 to 20% of lost frames after big updates. Almost everyone knows what the best Fortnite competitive settings are, but just for completeness, we're going to leave them in this guide. So in the second folder in the Fortnite max FPS and lowest input delay guide, check out which graphics card you have. So if you have anything above a 1650, you would want to go with anything above folder. If you have anything like a 1650 or lower, you might want to go with the first folder in order to get a configuration file that best matches your PC parts. For everybody else that is above a 1650, you could pretty much just copy this right here, type % local app data % at the top address bar, find the Fortnite game folder, double click saved, double click config, and double click Windows client, then right click in the blank space and press paste, then click replace the file in the destination. Then close out of that, open up Epic Games Launcher and launch Fortnite. Now once Fortnite is launched, you will see that the frame rate limit is unlimited. You might want to cap this at your monitor's refresh rate. So for example, I'm going to be capping it at 360 FPS if I had a 360 Hz monitor. And you want to just scroll down and double check that everything looks the same as it does on my screen. Then go to the game tab at the top and make sure that you have both of the enable idle energy saving options turned off. And then you can just close out of Fortnite. The next step in optimizing our computer for the best FPS in Fortnite and the lowest input lag is reinstalling our NVIDIA or AMD Radeon drivers and optimizing them. So go to the third folder in Fortnite max FPS and lowest input delay guide, double click uninstall your current drivers, double click display driver uninstaller, then just press cancel on the pop-ups and then press OK. Then select device type, set it to your graphics card and choose NVIDIA, and then just press clean and restart. Now once you have restarted and the drivers are completely uninstalled, you want to go to the NVIDIA folder, double click NV clean install, press next on install the best driver for my hardware, which is going to be the latest drivers, and press next again and let that download. Now once it's on installation tweaks, you want to check the first three boxes, check disable install, show expert tweaks, check that, check disable driver telemetry, check disable HTCP, then scroll down to the bottom, check the last two options, and then press next, then press install in order to install your debloated and customized NVIDIA driver. All right everyone, so once you got your NVIDIA drivers completely installed, you're going to go to the third folder, and then you're going to go to NVIDIA, then you're going to go to NVIDIA settings. And then we're going to double click NVIDIA Profile Inspector and scroll down and find CUDA Force P2 state and make sure that is set to off, just like so, and press apply changes. Then go to RBAR feature, make sure it's set to enabled, and then RBAR option set to 00x1 Red Dead Redemption, and then RBAR size limit, same thing, Red Dead Redemption for this one right here. Then press apply changes on the top right. Now the reason we're enabling RBAR feature and options is because this boosts FPS for some odd reason. Regardless if you have RBAR enabled in the BIOS or not, you can still have it enabled or disabled. This will still boost your FPS. So it's a very weird setting that helps a lot. So that's where we're going to be enabling it. Close out of that, close out of this. Open up your NVIDIA control panel, right click on desktop and click NVIDIA control panel. Go to adjust image settings with preview. Go to use my preference emphasizing. Drag this all the way to performance, then press apply. Then choose this middle one, use the advanced 3D image settings, then press apply. Go to manage 3D settings on the left. And you want to turn off gamma correction. You want to turn on low latency mode. This doesn't really do anything in Fortnite because we have reflex, but still turn this on just in case. Then power management mode, prefer maximum performance. OpenGL rendering GPU, set it to your graphics card. Preferred refresh rate, highest available. Shader cache size set to unlimited. This can fix some stutters sometimes, so try this out. And then texture filtering quality, high performance. And then everything else like vertical sync, turn that off. And then make sure virtual reality pre-rendered frames is set to 1. Then press apply on the bottom right. Then go to adjust desktop color settings. And digital vibrance, I would recommend setting this to 75% because this is what pros do, and it makes the in-game colors way more vibrant, so you'll be able to notice enemies faster and be able to shoot faster. So make sure to set this to 75%, or if you really like vibrant colors, you can set this to 100% and play on that. However, for me personally, I like 75%. Then go to change resolution, set your refresh rate to the maximum, then click use the NVIDIA color settings and make sure output dynamic range is set to full. Then press apply. That's all you have to do for NVIDIA control panel. Now we're on the right click, go to display settings, scroll down and go to advanced display and make sure your refresh rate is set to the highest available. Then close out of that, go back to the Fortnite optimization guide folder, right click on MSI mode tool, click run as administrator, and make sure your graphics card is checked and set to undefined. And that's all you have to do in this tool. Then press apply and then close out of that. Go back, go to basic Windows optimizations for Fortnite. Now the first one's going to be disabling core isolation. This is a security feature that really hinders CPU performance, and Fortnite is a CPU intensive game, so you need the maximum possible CPU performance. So double click this and make sure, if you click open Windows security, then device security, make sure you don't have core isolation here. If it's here, just make sure you turn it off and then restart. Close out of that, close out of this, turn on hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, double click that, and click change default graphic settings. Make sure these two are turned on because this helps frame rate, and optimizations for windowed games helps reduce latency if you want to play at borderless or windowed full screen borderless. Close out of that, right click on uninstall Xbox Game Bar and click run as administrator. This is going to uninstall Xbox Game Bar if you don't use it. If you do use it, you can keep this installed. However, it does reduce your FPS whenever you open it in Fortnite. Close out of that, uninstall useless apps, double click that. So you want to just go through this whole entire list. I recommend going sort by date installed, and you're going to see the last stuff that you installed. So for example, I don't want Roblox, so I'm going to be uninstalling that. And you want to just go through this whole entire list and uninstall anything that you do not need. Then go back to apps, go to startup, and just disable anything in here that you don't need. So for example, update, that's Discord, Vanguard trade notification, and Windows security notification icon, and NVIDIA broadcast. You want to disable those if you have those. Then go to gaming, game mode, ensure this is turned on. Then you want to go to private, go to accessibility, go to visual effects, and make sure you turn off transparency effects and animation effects. On higher end graphics cards and PCs, this doesn't really matter that much, but it does make your windows just feel a lot faster. However, on a lower end PC, this is going to help a lot. Close out of that, and then we're gonna double click choose a power plan, and make sure you're using high performance or ultimate performance power plan. Or for example, I'm using a custom power plan that I've made, and I use this in my services in on my clients' computers as well. So choose either one of those, and then you will most likely get more performance just because of that. The biggest thing in Windows is going to be the power plan because it dictates how your CPU behaves without touching any BIOS settings. Close out of that and go back, go to BIOS settings for Fortnite. And now this is the really most important part out of this whole entire video, is optimizing your BIOS settings for lower input delay and drastically more FPS. So if you're on Intel, I'm going to be covering some basic Intel settings for Fortnite. And if you're on AMD, I'm also going to cover some basic settings for that right now. So what I would recommend doing is saving anything that you need, because we're going to go to the BIOS. So double click this restart to BIOS shortcut right here. Double click it twice. If you double click it twice and it still doesn't work, just restart your PC manually and spam delete or F2 on your keyboard to go to BIOS. However, for me, I'm just going to double click it. It's going to instantly restart me to BIOS. All right, guys. So once you're in BIOS, you're going to turn on XMP on the left if you don't have this enabled, and make sure it's on a speed that actually works on your motherboard. So for me, I know for a fact 7200 works on this motherboard. However, for you, it might not, depending on your RAM kit. So if you have a really fast RAM kit like 7000 or above, you might have to drop it down to 6800 for it to work properly with your motherboard. But I highly recommend testing that out, because if you do end up getting crashes with anything above 7000, that just means your motherboard requires hardcore tuning to get 7000 and above working, or it just simply doesn't work on your motherboard. So in that case, you can just drop it down to 6800. Go to advanced mode on the bottom right, go to AI extreme tweaker or AI tweaker, and ASUS multi-core enhancement set to enabled remove all limits. This is going to remove all the power limits on your CPU. So in case Fortnite wants to pull a little bit more power, it can, and it won't throttle your CPU. Scroll down and go to DRAM timing control. And if you're on Intel, I highly recommend everyone doing this. This helps a lot with latency. DRAM refresh interval, or on your motherboard, it might be called TREFI. You want to click on this setting and type 32767, just like that. This is a safe value that's going to work for everybody. However, if you're able to get a fan directly pointed at the RAM, you can increase this all the way to 65535, which helps tremendously. But for everybody watching this video, just try out 32767, and then you're good to go from there. Then go back, scroll down, and disable ring down bin. Ring clock is the most important part on an Intel CPU. So if your ring clock decides to drop down for whatever reason, it's gonna heavily introduce input lag into your game. So make sure that's disabled. Then go to advanced, go to CPU configuration, scroll down to the bottom, and I recommend disabling any virtualization technology if you don't need these for whatsoever. And fast and active efficient cores. If you're on 12th gen Intel, highly recommend setting this to 0 because this is not needed. However, if you're not on 12th gen Intel and you're on 13th gen or 14th gen Intel, leave this on all. And if you're on anything older, just don't even worry about it. Now, for everybody watching this, I highly recommend testing hyperthreading disabled. This helps with input lag a lot whenever you disable it, but it might reduce your frame rates depending on your CPU. So if you're on a Core i5, probably leave this enabled. If not, just test out disabled. Go to CPU power management control, and we want to disable Intel speed step, speed shift. We want to disable CPU C states, and we want to disable thermal monitor. These are all power saving features for your CPU clock speeds, and this will fluctuate a lot in gaming, and we do not want that on an Intel processor. So the reason we're disabling these is because they are power saving features. They really introduce a whole bunch of input lag and reduce FPS a lot. So if you have really bad CPU cooling, probably test out just with these two disabled and CPU C states on auto and thermal monitor enabled if you have a bad CPU cooler. However, if you're like me and you have a decent CPU cooler, you can just leave these on disabled. And that's pretty much it for the Intel BIOS settings. You just go to exit and click save changes and reset right here in order to save all these changes. To advanced CPU configuration, and you're gonna disable PSS support. This is kind of like a power saving option, so just disable it. NX mode is kind of like a security option. It's very useless unless Face It requires it or Valorant anti-cheat makes you turn that on. If both of those will make you turn them on, just leave them alone. However, if you don't play those two games like Face It, Counter-Strike, or Valorant, you can just disable it. Then at the bottom, you want to disable FCH spectrum, and this just helps with EMI. Basically, if you enable it, it's gonna reduce the effects of EMI on your PC, but if you disable it, it's gonna consistently keep your base clock speed on 100. But I would recommend just leaving it disabled for 99% of you. There are some people who would benefit from turning this on, however. Go to AMD overclocking, and you want to disable LN2 mode because we're not going to be using this at all. It's completely useless. And then you want to disable this Pro VRM throttling option, and this just disables any throttling on the VRMs and helps us get better overclocks. SMT control, if you're on a Ryzen 9, disable this for gaming. If you're not on a Ryzen 9, do not disable this. This causes weird stutters and just a lot of hiccups in gaming on a Ryzen 7 or under. So don't disable it, just leave it auto. I know a lot of people say, oh, it gives you lower latency. It doesn't really matter. The effects that it causes on games and FPS is super weird and super depending on the PC. Like, some people notice it whenever you disable it, some people don't notice it. But for the purpose of this video, just to make everyone completely on the same page, just leave this on auto. Go to Precision Boost Overdrive, and for everybody watching this video, you can set this to advanced. PBO limits set to motherboard, and Precision Boost Overdrive scalar control set it to manual. You can leave it on 1x, and CPU boost clock override set this to enabled positive and type 200. And what this is going to do, it's going to pretty much increase the limit of where Precision Boost Overdrive can boost up towards. So after setting this to 200 megahertz, my CPU will try to boost to 5.5 gigahertz in gaming. Now, this is not really an overclock. This just increases the limit of how far Precision Boost Overdrive can go up to. Then go to Curve Optimizer and set this to all cores and set the sign to negative. And usually every single CPU should be able to do at least 10 right here. You could test that with higher, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna set it to 10 because anything higher can cause blue screens, crashes, or just weird stutters in gaming because it's unstable. And this is basically like an undervolt. We're basically undervolting by 10 on the curve. So if you increase it, some of your cores might become unstable because those cores are faster than the rest of the cores and they need more voltage to increase the speed regarding Precision Boost Overdrive. So a lot of complicated stuff I just mentioned right now, but if you just want plug and play option, put it to 10 and ignore it. Then go back twice by pressing escape, then go back one more time, go to AMD CBS and global C-state control. This is basically just a power saving option. It sets some of your cores to sleep. I've had some arguments where they've said if you disable this, your CPU can't boost as high, but on this generation of AMD, I've found it to be very helpful disabling it. SVM enable, this is virtualization, just disable it unless you need it for whatever. Then IOMMU, same thing as SVM, related to virtualization, so disable it if you don't need it. PCIe ARI support, disable this. And then CPPC dynamic preferred cores, if you're on a Ryzen 9 with an X3D at the end, set this to cache. However, if you're not a Ryzen 9 or you don't have a Ryzen 9 X3D, just leave it on bottom. Let's go down to the bottom and you just leave everything how it is. Go back again, and you want to set your AXNP or Expo to obviously enabled. You should already feel the difference if you applied the core changes and did the optimization pack. However, if Fortnite still feels almost perfect but not quite, that's where we come in. As Elite.net Zilli.net, we don't just tweak settings, we optimize your BIOS, we overclock your memory timings, and we overclock your CPU and graphics card. These are the real deep fixes. We've been trusted by thousands of gamers. We give you the real performance, and the full optimization just starts at $85. So if you want the full expert tuning, book your session at Zilli.net.